It's true that some things change as we get older. But if you're a woman over 40 and you're dealing with insomnia, brain fog, moodiness, and weight gain, you don't have to accept it as just another part of aging. And with MIDI Health, you can get help and stop pushing through it alone. The experts at MIDI understand that all these symptoms can be connected to the hormonal changes that happen around menopause, and MIDI can help you feel more like yourself again. Many healthcare providers aren't trained to treat or even recognize menopause symptoms. MIDI clinicians are menopause experts. They're dedicated to providing safe, effective, FDA-approved solutions for dozens of hormonal symptoms, not just hot flashes. Most importantly, they're covered by insurance. 91% of MIDI patients get relief from symptoms within just 2 months. You deserve to feel great. Book your virtual visit today at joinmidi.com. That's joinmidi.com.
Welcome to Critical Hit, a Major Spoilers podcast. Thank you for downloading and checking us out this week. We've already had a little sample of what space racing and battling is like. Kevin, let's continue on with that action this week and see if we can't jump to the inner onion ring inside of all of us.
the inner rainbow nesting doll onion ring moving walkway.
Yes.
That was described by your host, Jock Hammer, last time.
On Critical Hit.
Critical Hit.
Yeah, I kind of snuck that one in. So you cut back to Jock Hammer and Shulai. Jock Hammer welcomes everyone back. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Drifters. We're just going to dive right in. But you know we wouldn't start without first a word from our sponsors. The scene opens on a pool of black water, only visible because of the ripples. The camera pulls back and you see 3 gaunt figures, mostly immersed in the water, their exposed skin clammy and sickly looking. They aren't wearing clothes save for simple black swimsuits and a nearly countless number of thick black cables plugged into metal ports in their bodies, their arms, legs, but primarily their shaved heads. Their eyes are all closed, but they're clearly moving rapidly as they twitch in place. One of the trio opens their eyes, suddenly jerking half out of their pool, and shrieks, "Red Ball!" Cut to behind a glass window, looking out on the pools with the 3 people in them. A man in a gray uniform holding a data pad reacts, "Red Ball, we've got a Red Ball situation." Flashing red lights as a team of uniformed workers begin rushing all around what is evidently an enormous facility. A small flying drone is dispatched by a haggard-looking worker and quickly returns with a package in its grip, depositing it on a starship laden down with other such packages. The pilot is strapped in, and various tubes are injecting them with some liquids and extracting others from them. They lift off and fly at a breakneck pace, the G-forces rattling their bones and rendering their eyes permanently bloodshot. They hazard a glance at their wrist. 15 seconds, 14, 13, counting down. They've dropped out of orbit near some idyllic settlement, smaller and brighter than most. 7, 6, 5. The disintegrator array is powering up. They're almost out of time. They tear into a gated community, their signals just allowing the EM shield down before they crash into it. A human man sits on a porch, playing with his laser wolf best friend. He turns, stops to consider for a moment. 3, 2, and the package screams out of the ship, landing at the man's feet. He opens it to find just the thing he was thinking of buying, a red ball, which he throws to his laser wolf. Virago Precognitive Delivery Services. We know what you want before you do. Sign up for Virago Zenith today. The scene cuts back to the pool of black water and the 3 precogs. Another one jolts up suddenly. Large pink personal massager, and the workers all recoil in horror. Dear gods, another one? The screen goes black.
Hey, listen, you already know what you want. Make sure you use Amazon affiliate link over at majorspoilers.com.
Right.
It doesn't cost you anything extra. A little bit comes back our way. Load up on those pink back massagers for the holiday.
Right. Fun for the whole family. Oh man.
Brian.
Oh, let's go ahead. We're in the middle of a race. You guys are still in the red ring, but you're making progress. You're actually ahead of everybody else. So let's go right to the engineering phase, which is it's actually a phase for a lot of different types of actions. You could take captain actions, science officer actions, the chief mate actions. Does anyone want to act now?
I think somebody ought to repair some of the damage.
Is that a chief action?
Let's see. So the chief can. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry, we can patch it, or we can. It's a tougher check for engineering, but we can't actually.
It seems like you'd probably want to
hold it together.
Number of actions to patch. Blah, da, da, da,
It's
da.
only glitching. It's one, and it's a.
So yeah, you could patch a system. That's probably the best way out of this.
I could conceivably do a quick fix.
You cannot. You don't have
risky.
12. You don't have
it's rank 12.
ranks.
Okay, nope,
Yep.
You're right. Nope, wrong. Yeah.
So because it's only glitching, it would only take one action, and it would be diff 20.
It seems pretty worthwhile.
Yeah, I think I'll work on that then.
Yep. Which one are you going to try to patch? The
Helms.
Okay, sounds good. So the engines, which were disrupted by the Formian EMP cannon.
Yep.
Cool.
I think
I like to think that their EMP cannon is them like blasting you with psychic energy.
I see. If there's not any complaint or anyone saying otherwise, I think I'll go ahead and take a computer bonus on that.
Yeah, go for it. It seems very important. So
this plus 2.
Oof.
Ooh,
that's not
going to be enough.
Is there a reroll action in Starfinder?
no.
Boo.
I mean, it might have some ability or class feats that allow rerolls, but I do not for engineering.
Yep.
So, that was a 2 on the die. So,
yeah. What are you gonna do? That happens. Oh well. At least it doesn't come with any penalties for failure. So you try. Anyone else want to take an action during the engineering phase?
Can we try the same action?
No. He did that.
Someone can do it for the life support
together. Oh,
yeah, I would do it. That is fine. I would allow that.
I thought you said we couldn't repair the life support.
I'm sorry.
We can do hold it together.
You could still patch the life support system. I would allow it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, if somebody wants to do that like reopens a bunch of actions for me.
So patch explicitly states multiple engineers can take the same action to patch the same system.
Oh, it does say the same.
Ooh, so it does. Yep.
Oh
No,
yeah,
you're right.
and it reduces the number of actions. Yep.
That's fine. That doesn't.
And it would be an engineering roll.
So never mind. Yeah, just the same person can take the same action there. So goes to show you what I know.
Well,
I can't make engineering rolls on average, so
Yeah, me neither.
No, neither can I.
Is anyone else going to attempt it?
Always rolling out 20.
I would also allow a special use of the patch action, basically as a science officer in this case, to
for life support.
for the life support only.
Sure, that
Fair
seems
enough.
reasonable.
So like a life sciences check?
So it'd be computers instead?
It would be life sciences.
Oh, it would be life sciences?
Yeah.
All right.
Are you good at that?
It's like his whole gig.
He was trolling.
I don't think I've ever heard Abu use life sciences. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know.
So, Amu, are you going to do that?
Brainy. Yes, we are.
Okay, so that would open up some actions for Hecubino. So go ahead and make that life science check. DC 20.
The computer bonus on this one, if no one objects.
I'll go for it.
It's an action to remove a penalty, so it's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, jeez.
Jeez, no luck, guys.
Wow.
That's
That is
embarrassing.
This is just not our round.
That is another rolled 2, and this time for an Xaxes fail. I am
Yeah.
sorry.
Uh,
How come
Team
when
Hot-
I roll a 2, it's Quentin screwed up, and when he rolls a 2, it's like, oh, I'm sorry. It's just hurtful.
Yeah, you might want to think about that.
Wow.
To be fair, the action that you attempted has like explicit like miss
Right.
Yeah, penalties.
penalties in.
I like his answer better.
All right. So that's Skritic and Amu. Anyone else? Magic officer, captain.
Yeah, I will take a magic. What does push mean?
It typically means that it's harder, and sometimes if systems are damaged, you can't push. You can't take like if they're sufficiently damaged, but you're not at that point. So basically, anything with push in it is going to usually have either like a higher DC or a penalty associated with it.
Okay. I am going to.
Yeah, and so the next step beyond glitching, by the way, is malfunctioning, and at that level, you can't take push actions using that system. So,
Even
like,
if we would have
if
gotten
the
the
life
patches,
support-
any
sorry, say
additional
that-
critic, yeah. Even if we would have put the patches on it, any additional critical effects on that system just automatically get, it adds on to.
Yeah, it doesn't
the
like
glitch,
repair it. It doesn't like negate the glitch. It just
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't know if this will help, but something tells me that being up front, we're going to get shot at more.
Yeah.
So I am going to try to take the Mystic Haze magic officer action.
Ooh.
So I'm going to try to like obscure our precision through psychic powers.
Neat. I like that.
So I got to spend a resolve point.
Are you getting help from Grace?
How many of those have we used?
Two.
Then no.
Yeah.
Bad
It's a little
effect.
brutal.
We'll try to keep him for driving and shooting. I don't think there's no penalty for me whiffing this, so it should be okay. Let me.
Oh, and by the way, just so everyone knows, while Hekubino's getting that roll, you guys can make multiple gunnery checks in a round. You just can't use the same weapon multiple times. So, like, if Vangie and Quentin both wanted to shoot, for instance, you'd have to look at what the Squeaky Clean has in terms of a you guys don't have anything in your rear mount. Okay.
Apparently not. Yep.
So if there's people to your port or starboard, you could laser net them. Otherwise, you might want to install a weapon back there.
Yep. Decisions were made.
You're like, let's race ahead.
We figured we had the turret that would take care of it. So
we don't ever expect to be in front.
No one ever expect. Oh, never mind.
We got a net.
So that's a mysticism roll.
Are we going to go bug catching?
Oh, there we go.
31. So the difficulty is 15 plus 1.5 times ship's tier.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay. So what this does is the obscuring fields. I'm sorry, what?
It's +1 to AC, right?
+1 to AC. In addition, means anyone trying to scan us basically rolls with disadvantage, right? Rolls 2 dice and takes a lower result.
It's like scan, lock on, any of like those target lock actions.
Yeah.
That science officers can do. That doesn't work. All right, cool. Good stuff.
So yeah, I guess Hekubino's just gonna go like full displacer beast with the Squeaky Clean and just make like a try to project a secondary Squeaky Clean that's just kind of like off to the side.
Oh, nice. I like that. I imagine that somehow as like the magic officer, even though as like a personal mystic, it's like, oh yeah, I could create an image of myself. But when
Right.
I like call upon the ship's power core and stuff like that, I'm able to use illusions on like a galactic scale. I think that's
Right.
super cool.
It's like the core is itself actually magic, right? It's like
Yep.
all drifting is in essence magic. So
Mhm.
yeah, it's like I can basically channel that through the ship itself and put my own spin on it and get like wildly powerful effects that I couldn't get on my own.
So you again when you call this forth, you have to negotiate with the ship's power core, which you've replaced in the interim. But it is still that same kind of duality of there's a force of creation and a force of destruction. They're always living right at the edge of blowing the ship apart. So you're able to convince them to create to do what you're instructing them, and through the magical fields create an illusory replica of the Squeaky Clean.
Yeah.
Does anyone, Quentin, Vangie, or Bob, do you guys want to take actions during the engineering phase?
I'm saving myself for gunning. Thank you.
I'm really no good at engineering, so
You could try like captaining.
yeah, I thought about that, but I mean,
Test
all
your
of the
computers.
eh,
I mean,
my
but you have
computers and
so-
my engineering are both. Well, my computers aren't bad, I guess.
Isn't there like a running around guy thing? Like
Running
a running
around.
around roll?
So there's Chief Mate, which you could use acrobatics to do some of the things that are on here, like targeting aid or maybe, I don't know, maintenance panel access. There's Captain, which sure, you're taking a -2 penalty at, but so what? Like, you're pretty good at a lot of these. So you could use him to like encourage or something like that, or demand, or even take the orders action, which is pretty powerful. To like maybe give somebody another chance at fixing one of the systems that they failed at by rolling a 2. Like if you look
orders
at,
would be pretty powerful.
do you see the that link that I posted in the in Roll20 under Captain Actions where it says orders? Like that's a very powerful. Now it's not easy, right? Because it's basically DC 25 and you're taking a -2 penalty, so it's really like kind of DC 27. So I'm not
And I
saying
have to, I have to roll engineering to give him a new engineering.
The problem
order.
with orders is that you need to roll what you're trying to give to the other person.
Oh goodness gracious! Yeah, that's tough.
So you will never see me take an orders action because I'm bad at literally all of these things.
But like,
Matthew, you might want to look at the open crew actions and see if there's something there that might work.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah, scan wouldn't be bad. Like you can maybe, scan some other another ship, or maybe even scan for like mines that we don't want to fly into.
Ooh, scanning the environment is a good idea.
To the next.
Yeah, there are things worth scan. I will tell you that I did not make this map and use the GM layer a ton without making scan a relevant action.
Yeah, like there's also the secret warp gates.
All right, so that's an open crew action, or that's a science action.
It's a science action, but you can totally do it. Go for it.
All right. What am I rolling on a science action? Am I
doing computers?
Well, it'd be computers. Yeah.
All right, I'm sort of. One of these days, I'm going to get really good at this game, and then we're going to stop playing it.
That's basically true.
That's what happened with 4th edition. About the time I really got the hang of it.
Wait, you were really good at 4th edition?
Son, you do not want to come at me with that. I will end you. How do you feel about a 29?
Hey, man, that's pretty good.
Scan.
Yeah, it's really good.
All right, well, that's really neat because I also get to just do stuff like this.
Beep borp.
That to the
gasp.
Nice.
Gasparoonie.
So that The first one that I revealed, the one that's not in an asteroid field, is a warp gate. It is, in fact, yeah, exactly. Thank you. A warp gate that will take you to the orange ring. However, right in front of you in this asteroid field, you see that there are, in fact, but there are actually 2 mines there.
So how close do we have to be before those things start coming at us?
You have to be past them, it looks like. They seem to activate
on your bumper.
On the bumper.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Can they travel with us through a warp gate?
Yeah, exactly. Because like they seem to have their own initiative.
How in the world would you know?
Let's find out.
I just scanned.
Let us find out. Yeah.
I'm
so,
Quentin.
Well, you did roll a 19, so
I rolled it. Yeah.
That's fair. So assessing, you did make a computer's check, so you were able to. You can't hack their systems well enough to like reprogram them, but you can assess how they work. And oh yeah, they will follow you.
Right.
Darn. Okay.
In fact, you're as you start pondering that for a moment, there's a part of your mental, map. You're the palace that is Quentin's brain.
Right.
That is a combination of computers and philosophy, and it goes, well, logically, if there are multiple mines hidden in this field, and I can see that there are multiple other asteroid fields, it's possible that there are enough mines to just blow us all up eventually if they follow us indefinitely, which you now realize that they definitely will.
A mine in the hand is worth 2 in the asteroid field.
Can I shoot these
things? Mine is a terrible thing to waste.
You suck.
Can I shoot the mines?
Yes. So mines are, fun fact, tracking weapons. These kind of mines, anyway. Some mines are just stationary where you run into them like a normal mine, but these are tracking weapons like a torpedo. So they can be targeted, and specifically weapons that have the point special property, which I believe your laser nets, things that you have that property, which are really good at protecting the ship from those sorts of target lock based weapons.
Neat.
And we trick the mines into following another thing.
That seems flawed. Go ahead.
A boarding ship.
I mean, there are definitely ways to use the terrain against everyone around you. You don't think the mines will go backwards. That doesn't seem like something they're brutally programmed to do. So, like, for instance, if you were to go in front of these mines, it would be all but impossible to try to trick the mines into going back the other way at the people behind you. That does not seem to be how they're designed. However, if you and a bunch of other people were ahead of you, or were ahead of the mines, you might be able to redirect where they were going from there. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that was a good scan action, Quentin. That that revealed 3 relevant things. So let's see. I have to declare my engineering actions. So I have a little system that I'm using to make my life bearable here, and maybe I can share it afterwards. But I do wish complicated. This is just a total random GM aside. I do wish complicated systems like this made it a little easier for DMs because so there's how many players do we have? 6. Cool. That's fine. Each of you, you're taking like a relatively quick action. It's no problem. I'm obviously not going to do that for all of the NPCs on 3 ships. Like, I don't think having 3 enemy ships is too many. But if you look at like how the rules would have you do it, I would have to take, let's say there's 5 people on each of those ships. I'd have to take 15 actions. I refuse. I'm not going to do that.
They should have rules for ships that are more like monster rules.
Yeah, they're just
like a AI on for ship actions.
Exactly. It's just like, let's just give the ship +2 speed and assume that someone's always pushing the ship for speed.
Sure.
And like, that's fine. Like
if you read some of the way that these rules are written, like some of the ship actions, like it sometimes refers to like an opposing ship in the singular, and I'm like, is this just supposed to be like spaceship
One-on-one.
duels?
Right. Yeah. Like, I think that this would be an excellent system for like Red Baron style dogfighting.
Curse you, Red Baron.
But yeah, when you have multiple NPC ships, I really think you basically need to create a cheat sheet of how to take their actions in a sensible way that doesn't involve a bunch of dice rolling. Like, I'll always roll the die for, like, for instance, their piloting check for initiative or a gunnery check to hit you guys. For sure. That's totally fine and valid. But like, I'm not,
Yeah.
all the rest of this stuff, they should basically get fewer actions. There shouldn't be dice rolls associated with them. It should just be automatic, and you should make that kind of baked into the system, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. So now you get to figure out, if they try to scan us, what the net negative is for a like roll-less system. Since So
the good thing about that is, like, some of these people have target lock weapons, like the torpedo that the Celebrant of Darkness used. So I'm basically going to factor it in on that.
Okay. Yeah, that's great. That makes it actually more useful than I feel that normally is.
Yeah.
Seems very reasonable.
Okay. Anyway, that was aside, over, tangent done. I think we're on to the helm phase.
All right, here comes my piloting check. I'm going to use a grace, and I'm taking a -2, so I'm only getting a +3 on this thing. So that puts me at a 27.
27. All right, that is actually only going to make you third, because the Myrmecia goes way faster this time than usual. Followed by the Celebrant of Darkness. But you guys are still faster than the Umber Wyvern. God, whoever the pilot of the Umber Wyvern is, let's see, who's the pilot of that ship?
But they're also driving a bigger ship, so that slows them down.
They actually take a penalty, which is I think it's Skizzle, the gnome or goblin technomancer, who's their pilot. Yeah, so you guys get a bonus, they get a penalty, so that's also affecting things, especially considering on this round they lost only by 1. Anywho, squeaky clean. So the Umber Wyvern is going to. All right, so you guys get one of those weird starship provoke actions.
Well, let's end with our spines.
Heck yeah.
I don't think we have spines.
I thought we did get spines.
We might actually get to hit him with the spines.
Yeah, you guys got
and
spines.
something else.
We got spines.
Starship spine. I see it right here on the upgrades list. Now, do I see it on the weapons list? No, but that's now officially somebody else's problem, not mine.
I forgot that was a thing. All right, fine. Let me find it.
Spine.
If you go to spinal mounted weapons, jeez, there's so much. I can't say I'm sad to see that though. Whenever you're rammed by another vessel or struck by an attack whose maximum range is 1 hex.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So you
so
don't have
relevant.
you don't use them now. That, however, ramming has already occurred this race. It just didn't occur just now because the Umber Wyvern is not ramming you guys. It's trying to get some distance. But you do get that free attack. You can use any weapon, and you can choose any quadrant of their shields to target. And so I think
have they already taken some damage from anything?
Yes.
Yeah, they took
They've been shooting back and forth with the Celebrant.
That's correct.
No, then I'd say we could just So we can, if I fire a weapon now, I won't be able to fire that same weapon on my action.
If you fire a weapon, no. The good news about these AOO, I say AOO. I hope everyone knows that means attack of opportunity.
Yeah.
Well, I
It
realize
doesn't
I'm
count
using.
against.
I thought it meant
count.
All
right, cool. Then might as well go for the big one, being the mazer.
Yep. So Red Iron goes past you guys, and on a local band, he's like, "Excuse me, folks, time to get rusty."
These jokes have not improved.
Was that a joke? I don't even know what it meant.
His lines, whatever that's supposed to be. And I will fire on him as he goes past. So I've got a 20.
That hits.
All right, cool. So I'll save my damage for later.
Just
or do
barely.
that now.
No, you actually do it now.
Then take 42.
42.
Wow.
Ouch. In which quadrant are you targeting?
Whichever one that looks like the most damage from what I can tell.
You'd have to scan them to know.
Fair enough. All right, then I'll shoot from the.
Are we able to target any quadrant right now?
Yeah.
You're able to
Yeah,
target
because they're
any
passing.
quadrant.
Since they're going past us,
I
we
would
get to
hit them
attack
in the front because they've been behind the entire time.
Yeah, I like it.
And that is also the correct answer because the ramming also takes a bit of their own shield off
that
the
makes
front.
sense.
So good observation, Amu/Rob.
It's what we call
that's definitely a Rob up.
Well, it was a good one. And that's going to cause a critical hit effect on them.
That'd be a Rob observation.
So why don't you roll percentile dice?
Oh, dang.
Wait, no, I didn't roll properly.
No, she didn't.
Just roll the number 100.
Oh, okay.
Man, I was just like,
is that
44.
just like a
all right,
critical
so
reactor?
you have damaged their weapons array.
that would have made the ship just explode.
Yeah, that's the warp core for sure.
Yep. Okay.
Weapons array. Sounds good, though.
Yeah, I mean, it penalizes gunner checks, so that's good. All right. That's them. You guys are actually up next.
Okay, so we can move through their space, correct? But that might
then
they'll be able to shoot back, although they now have a penalty.
But I do have flyby, right? So that would allow me to move through the hex of one enemy ship without provoking.
Oh yeah, if you take the fly action, yeah.
Okay, so the question that I have for everybody, here's the question that I have for everybody. Mm-hmm. We can take a direct flight right to the Stargate and still have movement after we move through the Stargate, or I can move around, and we'll also take damage by moving through the asteroid field, which I hope the rusty buckets there took some damage. Or we can move around the asteroid field and maybe end up with one extra move action after we move through the gate.
So this is going to resolve before I can take the gunnery action?
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay.
If we evade the asteroid belt, do we evade the mine?
No.
The mines.
We're not doing an evade. We're doing a flyby.
Well,
So the mines won't trigger until after we pass them. It's like once you pass them, they start chasing you.
Right.
That's right.
And now they got a much closer target.
Yeah.
I like
avoid the asteroid.
Look, I will say one thing you noticed is that the mines did split up last time. They didn't go for this. Like it's like one.
Sure.
Yeah, one went for the closest target, and the next one went to the next closest target. So it doesn't look like they will pile on so much as spread themselves out a little bit. Keep it entertaining for the viewers at home.
If we make a straight line, we'll have to, number one, do a flyby, and number two, we'll also take damage from the asteroid field.
I'd say do that.
Like, if we don't take damage from the asteroid field, once we get through the warp, we can't move as far.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
I'd say avoid the asteroid field and just
risk it for the attack of opportunity because
listen, if I take this path right here. We will brush up against this asteroid field right here.
Mm-hmm.
And that'll take damage. Yep. We also have to use that flyby effect, and that will, potentially provoke an attack of opportunity. The other option is that I go way out here.
Oh, yeah, and then turn.
And then turn in, and we'll avoid the asteroid field, and we'll still make it through, and we've got 12 move right now for our speed. So we'll still be able to make it through the gate.
Yeah, do that. That just seems way better.
All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
You're basically sacrificing a little bit of speed and forward momentum to not take damage.
Yeah, I think that's a great trade.
If one of the mines follows us, Vengi can shoot it as soon as it comes through the thing.
Yep, using using the laser net.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Because I'll actually get a free attack because that's how that works.
9, 10, 11. We'll just hit it at a speed of 12.
Great.
But we won't have any other movement because our speed right now is 12 because we didn't get any other bonuses.
That's fair.
At this time. So
yep.
That
you'll
is
still
where
be the
we're
first
at.
one through a gate. All right.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and take that.
I'm going to go ahead and move the squeaky clean. So it goes to the warp gate, and then boom, it warps over a step.
No, you moved the.
I moved an asteroid.
Meteors.
So one problem with things on the token layer is it really doesn't know what you mean. Okay.
Oh, so we're on the orange track.
You're on the orange track now. All right, Celebrant of Darkness. Oh man, ugh! It winds up with the same crappy decision you guys had to make, except it's a little bit behind you. So, yeah. Okay. Fine. Well, that's fine. You guys are fast. I like that.
Yeah, I like it too. Because
the Myrmecia. Go ahead.
Because if the Myrmecia doesn't make it through the jump gate, all three of those mines will attack all three of those ships.
Well, even if that last mine is...
So the Myrmecia is the only ship that is as fast as you guys.
Boo.
I'm actually going to put it here to be even with you.
Well, at least they're well within firing range.
Yep.
Yeah, right? Okay, so that's it for the helm phase. On to gunnery.
Well, hey, I got a sweet target.
So let's see. So they're firing on your port shields. You're firing on their starboard shields. Is that the same?
Yeah, it's the opposite of what we were.
It's the opposite.
Last time we
moved around. That's funny.
Yep. I'm thinking of using the broadside and firing with both the mazer and our aft weapon.
Oh. What kind of penalty does that?
It's a -2, and I spend a resolve point.
-2 on each of them?
Correct.
I mean, seems cool.
Go for it.
Yeah. Especially, do we have any bonuses left?
Computers left? Yeah.
I think we have.
There's
exactly
one computer left.
Yeah. Okay. So take one for the biggest weapon.
Yeah, exactly. I'll use that for the mazer. So. All right. So then, forward mount high explosive missile launcher will just be made at a -2 penalty. It's a 21 to hit.
Let me double check. That's gonna hit.
Sweet. And then the turret mount will be made with no penalty. Is a 17 to hit.
That will miss.
Okay.
All right. And I'm going to... You know what? That seems smart. I can take a broadside action. So let's use our torpedo launcher and our connecting tendrils, shall we?
That doesn't sound good.
Yeah. Remember, we're...
Oh, yeah, you're difficult.
Yep. We're being difficult.
You're being difficult. Well, the connecting tendrils will miss, but the spore launcher will hit.
Not again.
Yeah, the spores are... I do love my spores. We're going to deal exactly 20 points of... Well, I guess I have to wait until everything else is resolved. but I can figure that out right now. Doesn't really matter. So go ahead and roll damage for the one that hit Sam.
Yep.
It wasn't the mazer, it
torpedo.
was the laser net.
No, it was the forward mount, the high explosive missile launcher.
Geez. Okay, well that targets target lock, which is different. Which let me double check that hit.
Oh, right. Yes.
It still hit, but that
Okay.
is a different weapon altogether. Okay, cool. Good to know. So you blast them with a torpedo, and
Yeah.
keep in mind, I believe that's limited fire.
Yep, I've created a special thing for forward mount charges.
Subtracting ammunition. Okay,
Correct.
cool. 30 damage, and that's going to the starboard, or excuse me, starboard.
Yep.
So, all right, I guess I can just put a 3 in front of that. Jeez. Their starboard shields absorb it because they have a lot of shields, but man, that stinks. They're going to hit you for 20 points with the spore launcher in your port shields.
All right, well, that's going to eat that and then spill over a little.
It does spill over?
Yes.
Well, that's wonderful because that means it inflicts a critical effect. Because it's a spore weapon.
And
if it hits you at all, it gets to damage, in this case, the power core. So, the problem with that, of course, is it moves it from glitching to malfunctioning. So.
Wait, we didn't previously have power core damage?
No, we had engine damage and we had.
Oh no, that's right. You guys fixed the EMP.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right, never mind. Good for you. Good for you. It's glitching then.
And so what does that give us penalties too?
The power core applies to all engineer actions except hold it together and patch.
Oh, okay.
A malfunctioning or wrecked power core affects all other crew member actions.
Ugh.
Yeah, the power core is devastating. And
spores.
You're infected by spores again.
Such a pain.
Yeah, you picked a fight with the Formians, and they are game to fight. So the good news is, I guess, such as it is that the Umbra Wyvern and the Celebrant of Darkness are wailing on each other. The Umbra Wyvern, in its ATEC Resolute, is firing its heavy laser cannon, its plasma torpedo launcher, stuff like that. The Celebrant of Darkness uses its particle beams and chain cannons. No one so far is the ones that are that far back aren't targeting you, which is great. Okay, end of the round. One mine is coming after the Umbra Wyvern. Yep, it's going to blow up. And the other mine over here is definitely coming after the Celebrant of Darkness, and it's going to blow up. And then this mine is going to follow all the way over to here.
All right, just got to stay ahead.
The Celebrant of Darkness, for what's worth, seems to have a very, very tough hull, but not a ton of shields. So they've redirected some of their shields because you're able to watch the vid feeds and stuff like that. They keep getting hit from behind. Like that's where the Umbra Wyvern hit them in the first place, and then they've been hit by a mine and stuff like that. So the Umbra Wyvern has also started to take on a decent chunk of damage. Okay, next round, engineering phase.
Fix all of it.
Let's go clean some more spores.
Power core.
Power core, yeah. Okay. I will try to patch the power core. You want to work on the spore? Wait, I guess that's the same thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're not the same thing. So one action.
Do you science the spores and I'll engineer a patch?
Yes.
Amu, why don't you start with sciencing the spores? Would you like Grace's assistance?
Yes, and by Grace we mean Squeebo.
And by grace, we mean Squeebo. Fair enough.
So, can we do captain actions at this point? Like
absolutely.
To help them?
Yes. Would you like to start with a captain action before that?
You do have a -2 penalty to captain actions at this point.
Actually,
from life support, yeah.
As long as they don't stack, because if they do, then you have a -4.
Right.
Since it's a -4 to -2 to all engineering actions, and technically captain actions are engineering actions.
No. I'm sorry. Captain actions are captain actions.
Oh, okay.
Even though they happen during... Yeah, it's really... So...
Complicated.
Gotcha.
Words.
Right.
They use the engineering phase, the helm phase, and the gunnery phase. It'd be nice if they didn't call it the engineering phase, if they called it, I don't know, like the planning phase or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not
the
just
ready room phase.
Yeah, it's the ready room phase. It's not just, or bridge phase or something like that. Right. But because, the captain, the magic officer, the chief mate, they can all act then. It doesn't really have anything to do with engineering. Anywho.
Right. But I could do an encourage action for either Amu or Skritic and give them a +2 bonus to whatever they're doing.
And you're likely to succeed at that because it's a flat DC.
Yep. And it's diplomacy, which is, I don't know if you know this, but I'm a friggin' diplomat.
Yeah. Would you like to try that?
Yes. Who do we think is more critical?
I would say give it to Skritic.
Skritic?
Yeah, just because Amu's check is really high.
I'm actually kind of thinking now, since I'd just be placing a patch on there, would it be better just to keep trying to pump us speed so we can try to stay in the lead?
Nah, I would say you should patch. I can try to maximize speed on my part if we actually care about that using a chief mate action.
Okay. I will try to patch up this and hope it doesn't get hit again.
So I should encourage Skritic?
Yeah.
Yes.
23 to encourage.
Success. So Skritic, you'll get a +2 on your next engineering check. Now, Vangi, were you saying that you were going to help with maybe taking like a maintenance panel access action as chief mate to allow Skritic to do two different things?
So the maintenance panel action as
oh no, it won't. It's only for
that'd only be if I was going to.
I was thinking of taking the chief mate action maximize speed.
That requires 12 ranks. You can't do that.
Ooh, never mind. Well, then
it's okay. I think we should fix and shoot.
Yeah, all right, that's fair. I like that.
So then you'll hold off for now?
Yes, I will save.
Amu? You want to clean up spores?
Go, Squeebo, go.
Life science. And you radically succeed. All right. So the spores stop spreading, which is good. You don't want them to spread from the power core. How about Skritic?
All right. Mind if I burn Grace on this?
Go for it.
Please do.
Okay. So with a +4,
Jeez.
what I get? 18 +4 will make it.
Oh, you didn't add the +4 already.
Sure.
Okay. Cool.
No, it doesn't give me the. Oh, I guess I could have put it in. But
okay, cool. Then you do succeed, which does. You were trying to patch the power core.
Yes,
or the engines.
The engines, actually.
The engines.
Whichever one.
We already patched the engines.
No, that failed last round, actually.
Yeah. So I wanted to patch whatever is causing the engineering penalty.
That's the power core.
That'll be the power core.
Power core. Okay.
All right. So the power core has been patched. All right. So that's Quentin, Amu, Skritic, Hakubino?
Yeah, give me a sec.
By the way, the rest of these ships are getting there's real damage being inflicted upon them.
Good.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the plan.
I mean, certainly a target system push might be pretty good against these other guys. Right?
Blow them up, way up.
I am actually going to hold for a taunt action during the gunnery phase.
Interesting.
Ooh. Cool. All right. So then I think we're at Helm.
All right. Let's see. If I take a grace, I still have a -2 to penalty check, so I will take a grace. Yeah?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So that'll just give me a +3. It'll be a 35.
Nice.
That is good enough for second.
Wow. The heck,
Yeah.
man.
I mean, it's still relevant. Like,
No, I know, but it's like, yeah. What did I roll?
did you roll?
I rolled a 15.
15.
So yeah, I guess I've got a
Yeah, I
little bit
mean,
more
people
space.
can roll higher than that. You know,
Yeah.
when you're up against multiple opponents, it's like somebody rolled a 1, somebody rolled a 19. The one you don't think about because it doesn't matter how much you beat them by, but the 19, the fact that they beat you at all, it's like, well, that stinks, but it happens. Okay, so that means you guys are second. The Umber Wyvern is not last for once. In fact, weirdly enough, the Celebrant of Darkness is last for the first time. By the way, on these inner rings, you're allowed to touch the next ring in your hex because there's no way around it.
Yeah.
But you can't go through it. 10. Did you have a question?
Yes. I do remember the announcers, I believe, talking about the warp gates flickering.
Yeah, that's a good point. You reminded me of something that I totally didn't even make come up. But we will say that the first warp gate is stable. The very first one is stable. But good point. Good point, Rob.
I was
in
really
general,
hoping just
the
to
warp
cut
gates.
off the other two.
Well, if you guys didn't have to make the check, I'm not going to make them make it.
Right.
Legit.
No, that's fair. There is already a lot going on.
Yeah.
We have to win this race to get back in, right? So there's no second place.
No, second place is first loser.
First loser.
Yeah. Okay.
Everybody who gets second place will be annihilated.
All right.
Did the Celebrant trigger anything going through that?
Yeah, you guys get an attack on them.
Oh, sweet. Bam! I'm going to smack him with the big guns.
Do we only get one attack of opportunity around or something?
Correct.
Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll hit him in the rear. If that's an option. Huh? Unless you
I just was going to say I assume the Rust Dragon is going to go after or before us.
Correct. The Umber Wyvern, the Rust Dragon, is going to.
Yeah.
The only ship that was faster than you this round is the Myrmecia, the Formians.
Which.
Yeah. So do the Formians get to also take an attack of opportunity or no? Or do you
know? No, they didn't. They didn't go through the Formian space. They went through yours.
Okay. All right.
I've got a 23 to hit with the opportunity attack.
Yep, hit.
Then take 30 damage in the butt.
Yikes.
Or 39, that is.
39, yes.
39. Ow. Okay, so 34. Okay. And they roll a percentile for me, please.
Oh, yeah. 6.
Life support.
Yeah, how do you like that?
Yikes. So the Celebrant of Darkness is taking a lot of damage. This racetrack might be too big. It might just be you guys blow each other up before you guys get to the middle.
No, all these fun tricks, and then we all just go bam.
I ran a Lancer game very much like this. Like the distances were too long, and both sides had too many guns.
Well, that's okay. All of my little sneaky tricks I will just use again later.
Sure.
Okay. The Umber Wyvern. Oh, that's an asteroid field.
I mean, the other thing too is that each ring is boosting our speed, right? So
yes,
presumably the other rings will go faster.
Actually, yeah, that's a good point. So that is where those guys are. The Umber Wyvern. You know what? Well, we're not at the gunnery phase yet, so never mind. Squeaky clean. You guys are up.
Does somebody get a shot on the Umber?
We already used our
Wyvern?
opportunity attack.
Yeah, they're gonna go through you guys, but you guys already used yours.
Smart.
Yep.
I think if I go
that is
full
how much
power,
initiative matters in this system, which it matters a lot.
Question before we do our movement. Was there any rule against going the opposite direction around the ring?
Yes.
Okay.
The ring basically is moving the wrong way.
So you'd be going against the current.
You'd be going against the current. You'd take all sorts of penalties. It'd be bad.
Okay.
So are we able to move out to like the red ring or not? I mean, we won't be back at the red ring.
You can touch the red ring, but you can't go past it. Yeah. Makes maneuverability much harder.
Yeah.
And you can touch the yellow ring, but again, you can't go past it.
Right.
Certainly no touching the green ring.
I'm trying to think.
Green is right out.
Okay.
Has Quentin acted yet?
No.
Quentin totally did act.
Quentin
did he?
helped
Okay.
Critic. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, never mind.
But Hecubino was holding back.
Yeah, fair enough. I was thinking that scan would be really good again, but...
Oh, yeah, because you still need to find the next, for instance, warp gate.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So if we do a flyby...
Can we touch the swirly green thing?
No.
Well, I think the swirly green thing's attached to the yellow.
Yeah, you won't be able to have
yellow until we find the warp gate.
Exactly. Like, even if your flight path would get you through it, you wouldn't get credit for it.
So if we do a flyby, we can move through the Team Rust Dragon ship.
Okay. Does that require a check from you?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. Does it eat up distance or anything?
So move normally, and you can move through one hex of the enemy ship without provoking. During the gunnery phase, choose one arc of your ship to fire at the chosen arc of the enemy ship at close range. On a fail, gunnery phase is normal, and movement provokes.
Mm.
And the DC is 15 plus 1.5 times the enemy's starship tier. So that's going to be pretty high.
Yeah, like if they were the same tier as you, then it would be 25.
Yeah, so they're going to be like 30 something.
We know their tier.
I'm not sending things like 5 tiers higher than you.
I would assume that they would be ours, or like maybe like just a little bit higher.
However, even 1 tier higher than you would be 2 points of difference, which would be DC 27.
Yeah.
What's your piloting check?
My piloting is 17.
Does that count all the various mods? Like
no, it doesn't count the +1 or the.
What's your real piloting check?
My real piloting is 17.
Name?
17.
Because it's +2 -2.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean,
either that or you could burn another resolve and get more speed.
Yeah, but see, the problem is we don't. If I go full power, if I go full power, it's going to be really hard to make the turns around these guys because I have to.
Hey, by the way,
distance between.
Guess what? As the pilot, now that you're in the helm phase, you now know something which you've observed, but now are putting it into practice. Your speed is +4.
Okay, so we're at 16 then. 1, 2.
Well, did anyone divert? I guess
No.
You are at 16. So, yep, 16.
15, 16. So we can get all the way out to here with 16, but we're going to have to swing between these two guys.
Yeah.
And
fly by the Wyvern and then just go past the other guy. Yeah.
And because
I mean, so I will allow the following helm action if someone wants to take it. Someone could, and this is always something that's available, but I'm just kind of systematizing it as for the moment. Reach out to the Umbra Wyvern crew and be like, hey, don't shoot us, we won't shoot you. Let's team up against the Celebrant of Darkness. We're going to provoke. Please don't shoot us. But that would be up to you guys and who knows whether they'd accept.
Yeah, I mean, I did just blast them when they provoked, but
yeah, that would be a little cold. Be like, oh yeah, you provoke from us and we take it, and then like, hey, don't take the AOO from us. That'd be a tough sell.
I mean,
I think we can do it.
Worth it. I mean,
we're charming.
Hecubino's got an action on him, and he is.
And that's up to you guys. I'm not putting actions in your guys' mouths. This doesn't work.
Dice,
yeah.
It's up to you, Steven, if you want to try and do it the safe way, or if you want to fly by.
So everything is whirling past Bob, the pilot of the Squeaky Clean. All of a sudden, there's a million things going on all at once. What do?
I think I'm gonna try a flyby.
Nice.
So I have to do a piloting check. So piloting, I get a 24. That's not going to be a success, I don't think, because 15 plus 1.5 times the enemy starship tier.
Did you take a grace on that?
I did take.
Yeah, but he's also got a penalty.
Yeah, so it cancels each other out.
Okay, so then,
so if I but also don't I get a no? That's just for.
I also like our use of the term "a grace."
Yeah, right.
Works out very well.
So in that maneuverability, I have that +1, but I use that during the piloting.
No, that's
initiative.
just a constant +1.
Oh, okay. Then it should be 25.
Hey, that's like a magic number of difference.
Hey,
wow. It's a magic number.
Wow.
I mean, yep, they're the
Count
same.
Your mods,
tiers,
everyone.
Like,
if our thing is 16 because we have the +4 to the inner ring, we should be able to make it all the way out to here.
Nice. I will go ahead and move you there, and then I assume your facing is going to be more like
we're gonna face
that.
up. Yeah, yep, just like that.
All right, and that means during the gunnery phase, you can choose one arc of your ship to fire at the chosen arc of an enemy ship at close range. So the cool thing about that, if you want, is it means like you can fire your forward weapon at their forward shields, for instance, which is something you normally can almost never do.
Oh, that's sweet.
You get to choose any weapon of yours against any quadrant of their shields. And that was against the Umbra Wyvern, yeah?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Can I ask what that looks like?
Oh, the flyby? Oh, man. We are just zipping. We're zipping right along. Bob's going at full speed, synthetic sweat streaming down his face so that it looks good on Quentin's camera for the audience. And you can just see the pilot of the rust bucket is just sitting there, and all of a sudden he just feels like the forward shock wave of the ship as it approaches, and he just looks out his window, and as we fly by, just really, I mean, he feels like he could reach out and touch it. He just sees Squeaky Clean, just like almost brush right up against his window as it flies by.
Beautiful. It's beautiful.
And then
all of their feeds have our logo in.
Yes, and then as we fly by, Bob gives him the synthetic finger.
Yeah, because Bob's hands are like mittens. It's just one whole hand.
Yeah,
like a crash test dummy.
Oh man!
Now we did move past the other group though. Now does that provoke? I mean, we didn't move through their space. I mean, we went one.
So the good news about Starship thing is it's only through their space.
Ah, okay, cool. All right, cool.
Which is fair. It's like a hex is huge in space. Like a hex is a lot of space, but it's like if you're right on top of them, they do get to like fire their weapons on you locally. But as you've already noticed, like despite the fact that starships don't have like threatened areas the way people do, AOOs. I'm amazed that AOs are coming up at all. Like from reading the rules, I would expect them not to. I guess that in all fairness, like the terrain that I'm inflicting upon you narrows your maneuverability quite substantially, such that you guys are constantly kind of competing over the same real estate. So it's making AOs better, but it's definitely coming up. But yeah, only through the space. All right,
cool.
The Myrmecia goes.
Should I take my attack now from the flyby?
That goes in the gunnery phase.
Okay, fair enough.
And the Myrmecia. Yeah, they're going to just pull ahead.
Dang it.
How are they going to do that?
Well, they use the divert action to increase their speed.
Yeah, we were too busy cleaning up.
Well, let's shoot them too.
Yeah.
Yeah, your weapons don't inflict spores upon your enemies.
Not the weapons we've been firing so far.
Yeah, right? got a shopping list now.
Hey, you're not in first place. Boo-hoo. So sad.
Prep the gremlins.
I was going to say, our weapons can inflict gremlins on them.
Prepare the transport beams.
And now it is... Actually, the Myrmecia is ahead by a little bit, just because they're also a fast ship. So now it's time for the gunnery phase. So... You get that. Now, how does this work?
Gunning it up.
Yeah,
during gunner phase.
Going to shoot something.
I think there's 2 actions that you would get, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I
That gives us a second attack.
Sick.
I mean,
shoot them twice.
Otherwise, you provoke. Like it seems high risk, high reward. Let me double check the
Reddit.
All right. Yeah, right. Ship moves as normal, but it can move through one hex, blah, 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 blah. During the following gunnery phase, you can select one arc of your starship weapons fire if the vessel was in close range. To perform this stunt, you must... Yep. If you fail this check, blah, blah, blah.
I mean, it definitely gives you a reason to do the flyby in an open field.
However, it doesn't say that your gunner gets to do it. Bob.
Oh, nice.
A gunnery check.
All right, what do I need
use
for
his
a gunnery
piloting?
check?
Yeah.
You can use your ranks in piloting, so
that makes
it's
a lot
like
of sense.
Yep. It says every time it's using a pronoun, it's you, so you do it.
All right, so where's the gunnery phase? Oh, so what am I doing? Tell me again, because I've been too busy.
It's all right. No, yeah, roll a d20 plus your ranks in piloting, which is I assume 6, plus whatever your dex modifier is.
But he has to pick which weapon he's doing first.
Or can I use the?
And then you get to pick any weapon you want of the squeaky clean. It will count against that weapon's firing because this is not an AOO. So it is. So you can't if you use the mazer, that means.
Yeah. No, I'm going to use the. What side did I pass on? I passed on the right side, on the squeaky clean's right side. Their left side.
So probably the starboard laser net.
All right. So I will flip a switch that says entanglement.
Although I will also point out, because of the way how advantageous this is, the laser net only deals 2d6 damage, which is not bad. You could use the forward mount high explosive missile launcher.
Ooh, yeah.
Which does substantially.
Yeah, so let's do that one. So that's as Bob is flipping that missile launch up with that synthetic middle finger as that other pilot looks out, and that's what he sees through the window.
Nice.
So let me roll that and see what we can get.
Also kind of explains why the damage is only happening now.
Yeah.
26.
Yeah, I mean, because it's kind of cool. It's they release the torpedo, and then the guy says a couple lines of Shakespeare, and then he blows up.
Yeah.
So sorry, I had to do something at the beginning of the gunnery phase.
Right, yeah, the taunt action.
Yeah. So I don't want to keep getting hit by spores, so I'm gonna get on the comm, and I'm gonna taunt the ants. So that's a bluff or intimidate check, DC 15 plus 2 times their tier. But like
I have it as 1.5 times their tier for what's worth.
Okay. That might have been
errata.
Yeah, that's probably errata. We'll do bluff. Nope, it's a botch.
Oh.
All right, so what do you say?
I get on the thing and I'm like, "Hey, a big butt called, and it's the Queen's, and it wants it back."
Your refrigerator's running.
Yeah, I'm like, "Hey, Quentin, cut that out of the edit."
Editing.
I'm glad we waited so long for me to take this action.
What I'll do is I'll actually dub something better in.
Yeah.
Sure.
Your mom.
One of our earlier ant puns.
Mm-hmm.
And if you were a Greek drama, you would be Antigone.
So did my missiles hit those guys?
Yeah.
Who knows? They're still traveling in space.
To call the uncle.
So, all right. Are you guys ready for... I want to keep Steven in suspense as long as possible.
Oh, I don't really care.
Oh, well, next time we'll talk about it on Critical Hit.
Nice.
No.
Join us.
Not that long. Not that long. But
yeah, I'm not allowed to do that. I get yelled at when I do this.
I have two asides. We're getting multiple asides here.
All
Aside number one, tracking weapons are super cool because they can travel like starships, as you guys have seen with the mines, where like if they don't blow up, they still follow you. That's kind of cool.
Nice.
However, most weapons have a speed that is so fast that they just hit you instantly. Like if your speed is 5 or 10 hexes, like 5 hexes isn't that fast, but 10 hexes, it's like, are you within 10 hexes of me? Yes. All right, then you're hit instantly. It's just like, okay, well then it's a neat little idea, but it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really come up. But
it's like,
anyway,
the difference between like projectile weapons and hit scan weapons, it's like at very long distances it matters.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And then, second aside, in ninth grade English class, me and all my friends who are in debate together ran the trial of Antigone. That was like a thing that we did in our ninth grade English class. And we had just seen the Robert Duvall, John Travolta movie, A Civil Action. It's about a civil trial. And Robert Duvall has this monologue in that movie where he's just like, if you don't know what's going on in the trial, if you fall asleep at the desk, if you just don't like where the guy's going, object. So we all decided to object constantly. And we're just because we were all of the people in debate, all of my friends were the lawyers. There was like there was a judge, there was a jury, etc. But obviously all of the debaters were the lawyers, and we were just total jerks, constantly objecting. And then our teacher was like, all right, you only get 3 objections for the rest of the class. And we had to explain to her, like, well, that doesn't make any sense because then I'm going to do 3 things that are extremely objectionable, and then I can do whatever I want. And she was just like, and ultimately it wound up with a mistrial.
Yeah.
You think? Oh my God.
One of these people is now a real lawyer.
Yeah, actually, that's true.
Yes,
nice.
But are they good at it?
That's our future Chief Justice right there.
All right. Where were we?
I like
we were
still don't
horrified.
know
We're a full 10 years
yeah.
older than you, and that movie came out in 1999.
Yeah, did Steven hit?
Yes, he did hit.
But what did he hit?
No, he hit the Umbra Wyvern, and what section of their shields were you targeting?
The weakest shield.
Which is the front.
Which was what, their backside?
No, their front. The front.
Oh yeah, their front side. Yeah, front side.
All right.
So yeah,
there you go.
He sees me. He sees the synthetic finger. He's like shakes his head like amateurs, and then all of a sudden he just sees this glare come out the front of the squeaky clean, and it targets right into his eye socket for 15 damage.
I imagine Red Iron, by the way, as like he's like a heavily built guy, jacked. He's probably always wearing some sort of, I don't know, like mecha suit.
Yeah, robo harness.
Yeah.
Space Oakleys.
And I also think of him as having one. I don't know that I've ever described him as in this way, but here's my mental image of him as having like, an eye patch, but like a robot eye. Like one red robot eye.
Yeah,
nice.
So he wears an eye patch over.
Right.
All right. So 15 damage. That's going to blow out their aft shields. Or no, 4 shields. There we go. All right. So they no longer have shields there. Okay. Are we... Vanky, did you not?
I have not taken mine. Yes, I was
Go
waiting.
for it.
So I am going to mazer the Zunkuthan cult. Is that the... Yeah.
So the
no, that's the bugs in front of us.
The bugs are ahead of you, but the Celebrant of Darkness does suck.
Yeah, it's going to be the bugs there. They're ahead of us.
The bugs, kind of, yeah.
And they keep sporing us, and I do not like it.
And maybe you can make them explode.
So that's almost assuredly going to miss, though.
Wow, that is a terrible roll.
Yep.
Not a great gunnery action for us.
Even with a final grace.
Yeah,
there's no, that doesn't hit. Yeah.
Well, we got a free gunnery, so we'll take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys did maximize your action through clever planning. So, next round. Engineering phase.
I know that
by
there's
the way,
things.
You guys can feel the G-forces around you as you've moved into this narrower tunnel, and you can see like it's bending light through these, what they called electro-magical fields. You're like, what does that mean exactly? And you realize you have no idea how they're generating this effect, but they've probably used like, I don't know, dozens of spellcasters and engineers at least.
It's probably very not safe.
So... In addition to our glitchy systems, we also have 0 shields on our port side.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, I know that there's things that probably could still be patched, but I think I want to get shields back.
Okay. Before we go too far, can somebody run me through all of our penalties right now?
We currently have a -2 penalty. Yep.
Hold on. One person.
Go ahead, Sam.
One person.
Go ahead, Sam.
-2 penalty to captain actions, -2 penalty to pilot checks. That's what we got.
All right.
And we have no port shields. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Correct.
Are there any other shield quadrants that suck?
Yes.
Starboard have 16. Bow has 15.
And aft is still fine.
Okay.
So, so I could take this action, but it might also be a good Quentin action to take the chief mate action to, if we're going to be diverting, to also
the double divert.
Exactly.
The maintenance panel access.
Mm-hmm.
Double secret diversion.
Yes, that's one.
Why not? Okay. Let me find it here.
That would be an acrobatics check, which is another thing that Quentin's quite good at.
Quentin's very good at that. You said that's a chief mate action? I'm not finding it.
Yeah. So,
is it under maintenance panel access?
That's
it's maintenance panel access, yeah.
Yep. Okay.
It's going to be DC 20.
Quentin would like to do that at this time.
Would you like a grace?
I mean, there is a penalty if you fail by 10 or more, so maybe.
It's probably a pretty good idea.
Yeah, I'd say go for it.
All right, so grace is a +2.
2.
Yeah. All right. Quentin rips open an access panel with a 30.
Boom!
Nice.
Nails it. I can imagine the sphere of Quentin, like lots of his little arms coming out into the access panel, and like there's sparks flying all around him as he patches the system. I like that. Excuse me, I can't say patch. That's a keyword action.
Yeah.
That's a different action.
But yeah, that definitely succeeds.
Crazy. No, wait, that's a.
So when an engineer takes a divert action, they can choose 2 systems. Okay, who's next?
I suppose I'll go ahead and do that diverting then.
Sure. So you're gonna do shields, presumably.
Yes, I'm gonna try for shields and for speed.
Shields and engines. All right.
Anyone mind if I use a grace?
Go for it.
Not at all.
What did I get? 20. Okay, 25.
Yes.
That'll do it.
Yep. So your speed is now net +6. So because it's +4 from the track and +2 from the diversion. And then you also get to heal 12 shields wherever you want, and you get to divert shields around a little bit, as I think you understand how that works.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and equalize the port and the aft to get 16. Almost 16 all over except for the bow, which has 15.
So it's like 15, 16, 16, 16?
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Nothing wrong with that.
Yep, that'll be that.
Rob, what are you thinking of doing?
Either balance or scan.
Okay. I have a scan-like option, or I can give Bob a +2 to pilot checks, which I think he kind of needs. So if you wanted to scan,
someone should definitely scan.
Yeah.
Is there not kind of like an asteroid in our way that we really can't? I guess maybe we could skirt around.
Yeah, we can get around it.
Okay.
Big one?
Well, the big one, that's the questionable one.
That
depends on how far into the yellow or red we can go.
Yeah. That's what I was asking. Like,
this giant one that takes up the entire orange ring, that's a total jerk one. Yeah.
Yes. Can we go out to the yellow and red rings?
Yes, you cannot touch the green under any circumstances.
Okay. All right, cool. Yeah, we're okay then.
And you cannot be so far out that you're not touching the red. Does that make sense?
What's the other action you're considering, Rob?
Balance. How are our shields at this point?
Almost 16 all around, except for the bow, which has
the
15.
shields are all balanced. Yeah,
yeah, they're totally fine. So I would say don't bother with that.
Because it also allows to change, and if we're going to be going 16 spaces, we
18.
should be ahead of 18 spaces.
Yeah.
So 18 spaces should put us ahead of everybody except for the
Formians.
Well, keep in mind, they're getting some bonuses too. Like their speed's all increased by 4 by joining the orange ring along with you. Everybody's speed is faster now.
I wouldn't really worry over much about our shields right now. We just fixed them up pretty well. So
scan it is.
What's the range of your sensors?
Long.
Okay.
Let me double check that.
I believe you, but could you tell me in hexes?
What does that mean?
That's a great question. It's 20 hex.
Good.
Oh, dang.
Cool.
Nice.
And we have a +2. And we have a +2 bonus to any checks involving them.
Wow, we definitely didn't factor that in last time. That's cool. Did we write that? We totally did. 20 hex range. Look at that.
We're smart.
Good work, us.
Where is it written?
Look at us.
Right at the top of the stats.
Where are the stats?
At the very top of the
Squeaky clean document.
Someone send Rob a...
Everyone else
is it in Roll20, or am I just forgetting stuff from ages
ago?
There's a Google
Doc.
Okay.
There's a Google Doc that we all have open.
Except you.
Except you, Rob. It's okay.
Look, I am so drugged up right now, I'm barely paying attention.
Oh, sorry, man.
Playing the guy hit by a car card.
Oh, no. Oh, Sam, that's brutal.
Alicia didn't go, my name's Rob, I got hit by a car.
He didn't get hit by a car either.
All right.
His car got hit by a car?
Yeah.
All right. So why don't we make a check, whatever the scan check is. Look for science officer.
Yep. It should be
Looks like it's computers.
Which is not our best skill.
Yeah, but it's a lower DC.
Far from our worst.
And you get a plus 2.
We get the +2. Do we want to throw the grace bonus in here, or is there other things?
We still got a fly and shoot, so I would leave the remaining ones for that. Right? We've used 2 already.
We've used 2 already.
Yeah, we've used 2. Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, and you succeed even without the grace. So it's also nice, like, if you can, to not use the grace when your check is pretty good, and your check is good. And a neat thing about I will just say, from my perspective, this is kind of cool because you guys had to make the decisions yourselves about what you were going to upgrade versus not upgrade when you not last episode, but a couple episodes ago when we were upgrading the ship, and you did decide to improve the sensors, including their range, which means that some of the stuff that would definitely just be almost exactly outside of your range is now in your range. So I just added 2 things to the token layer. I'm sure this surprises no one, but there are actually multiple mines here.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I like how they're peeking out.
And then you guys see that warp gate
Yep.
behind it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Cool. So that's the warp gate that will transport you to the yellow ring. Before you guys just all kill each other on the yellow ring, I'm pretty sure.
I would like to take a magic officer action. Then I'd like to take another precognition action to give a +2 circumstance bonus to the pilot check, to Bob's pilot check. Specifically to determine the piloting order.
Yep. Go for it.
So, did I say that was mysticism? I think all of these are mysticism.
It is mysticism for sure.
Yeah. 19.
Oh, that's exactly a fail.
Okay.
By 1, unfortunately.
Well, I started out pretty strong, but Hecubina's kind of flagging here.
So he tries to see the path ahead of him, and it's too obscured by all of this nonsensical space debris.
Yeah, plus completely unsanctioned and very dangerous magical constructs that we're literally flying on.
All right,
These are definitely laid by non-union mystics.
Yep. So that is Amu and Hecubino and Skritic.
Mm-hmm.
And Quentin, what did you do?
He's
open the hatch.
Yeah.
He helped Skritic.
Yeah, he did the extra.
Yep, and Quentin. So that just leaves our
Bob and
pilot.
Bangy.
Pilot and gunnery. All right.
Flyy and shooty.
Yep.
We fly and shoot. We fly and fly and shoot.
Mr. Flyy, why don't you roll your pilot check for determining your order?
21, it looks like.
That is going to put you in a rough spot.
Did you take a grace?
No. I did take a grace.
Okay.
So the grace is a +2 minus the glitch for a -2.
Gotcha.
Plus my piloting +1 gives me a 21.
Gotcha.
That is going to put you in last.
Oh.
Yeah, so you guys get to move first this time. It's brutal.
Yeah, but on the plus side, 18 will actually get us right onto the jump gate.
Oh, onto the gate. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Having already scanned and knowing where the gate is, that's nice.
Yeah, and that includes weaving way out into the yellow ring to avoid the asteroid and hitting the target.
Oh, by the way, someone asked earlier if you could go the other way. There is one case I could think of where it would be advantageous to maybe go the other way, although it's still brutal.
If you otherwise would it smash into something?
No, if you miss the gate.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
Well, I also presumably if one turn we just wanted to just shoot.
Yeah,
like if we wanted to get multiple people and shooting, we can probably get Bob to move forward a little bit and then flip the ship or so that it's facing forward.
Yeah.
Or so that it's facing back towards everybody else, and then just have like 2 or 3 people take gunnery action.
By the way, something you notice, we haven't gotten to gunnery yet, but I'll go ahead and mention it now. Things that are moving in the red ring, like the mine, although it will eventually join you, but the mine and the asteroids and stuff like that, they seem to be moving in slightly, not a huge difference, but slightly slow motion to you, which makes you realize if you were targeting a ship on those, you would get a relative bonus to hit them based off.
Keep that in mind, gunnery.
Yeah, if we can actually get on a different ring.
I mean, we actually during the move phase, just a simple fly through will land us on the yellow ring.
So if you are on the yellow ring and somebody else is still on the orange ring, it's much easier to target them.
That's cool.
Okay, so go.
Bobs and weaves and flies through and does his flying thing.
And you get to the yellow ring, or get to the warp gate, exactly. Yeah. All right. Well, why don't you make a piloting check to this warp gate? Fluctuates as you're going through it. It's not obvious how to. Yeah.
Okay.
It
37.
In and out of, okay.
37.
Well, jeez. Wow. All right, fine. I'll just shut up then. Very good. Very, very good. Yeah, that is successful, and you guys are transported into the yellow ring. All right. That makes the Myrmecians.
Oh man, those mines are going to come and kick our ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering maybe we should do some a bit more speed.
Well, we gave him two more speed on the divert option.
Yeah.
Oh boy. 18.
No.
I know. They're
take
right.
care of these guys.
The Formians are exactly ahead of you, and they didn't even have to provoke to get to that space narrowly.
Curse them. Curse them.
The Upper Wyvern
smashes right into that asteroid.
Don't ever doubt how big a deal speed is in a race.
Go figure.
We have some
exoskeleton creature.
Attacks to resolve.
No, the good news is you've managed to put on some distance between you guys and the Celebrant of Darkness and the Upper Wyvern. Both of them do not make it anywhere particularly close to the warp gate. The bad news is you are drawing the attention of some minds.
Oh.
So we're going to go to the gunnery phase.
Well.
Now, what do I have as my Formian ship to the... Oh, hey, guess what? You know what's nice? They also don't have aft weapons. They have a turret-mounted weapon, but they don't have aft weapons. So, that's something.
These Formians are flying a weird space beetle that's surprisingly similar to our Robo-Lizard flyer.
I know, right?
What's it called? Convergent evolution?
Exactly. Lizards and ants are actually very similar.
A lot of starships look like crabs in the long run.
That's true, yeah.
So they are going to release a bunch of tendrils from their ship that try to burrow in and connect to yours.
That sounds bad.
That's just rude.
Yeah, they tried this once before and it didn't work, but
Tell them no thank you.
Yeah, this is great. I have no regrets about any of this. So that's what they're doing. What are you guys doing during the gunnery phase, Vangie?
I know, right? I mean, I'd love to be able to shoot at the mines, but I'm gonna have to, I guess, wait until they get close to me and use the net action, because that's how that weird thing works. Like, but I don't think that's an active action. That's a free thing on.
You could shoot them with your turret.
Yeah, I say.
Yeah, actually, that's totally reasonable. I'm gonna try to blow up at least one of them with the with the turret gun.
Or, if Team Rest Dragon is in range, they are slowing down, and we do know that we get a bonus to our weapons.
Yeah, but the Formians are so much more of a threat.
We got it.
You know what? I'm going to take we'll split the difference. I'll take the full attack, basically, spend another resolve, shoot at the Formians and the mine.
Okay.
Oh, the mine that's coming at you?
Yeah.
Yeah, our mine.
Although I'm going to get a free targeting attack on the mine that comes at me.
Mm-hmm. Double attack on the Formians.
Sorry, what were you going to say?
Double attack the Formians.
What were you saying, Kevin, though?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just double checking that it's a free attack.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how...
I think it is as well.
Yep, okay. Cool. Glad we've resolved that. Yep, I like the double attack on the Formians. I'm going to do it. So
Still got one grace, right?
Yeah, I'll use one. I'll use grace on the big one on the mazer.
It is a free attack, by the way. I checked.
Great.
Okay.
So again, roll poorly though.
Yeah, that's gonna miss.
All right, then roll without grace on the forward mount. Ooh, no,
worse.
Wow.
Oh man.
That one just goes astray and goes into that nebula cloud.
Okay. Well,
which then explodes.
Not a great round for Vangie.
Yeah, that was rough. I mean, those were both very bad rolls. So what are you gonna do? Mm-hmm. You put yourself in good position. Sometimes it's random chance.
Yep.
All right. So, I only have my tendrils attack that I can make against you, which I will, and I hit. So, have fun with that. You. Yeah. So let's go ahead and roll some damage, because this is the only one I have to roll. 6. 9 is 15. 23. We're going to deal 23 to your forward shields.
Yeah.
Well, that's going to eat them.
Do I deal damage to your hull?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, here is what happens. These are...
Do you have the spillover damage handled, Brian?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, wait. So first of all, hold on. So 23, excuse me. How much damage what was the forward shields before this?
16.
Was 15.
15.
Oh, 15, sorry.
23. So what's 23 halved? 11 or 12? Mm-hmm. Deal 12 to the forward shields and 11 to hull. It's really weird, but it's a burrowing weapon.
It's a shield penetrator.
Yep, exactly right. So it always deals half its damage to your shields and half its damage to hull, no matter what. And it's also a connecting weapon. These huge tendrils that are connecting you to the Myrmecia, the Formian hive mind ship, it's very welcoming, and they start emanating psychic waves at you, saying like, "Join us, join the hive mind. See what everyone else is up to. We're starting a new universe of digital stuff. don't listen to what you hear on the news feeds, except our news feed. Anyway, the connecting weapon hits you with a roping tendril, and your maneuverability is decreased to average. What that means is you no longer get that +1 bonus.
Dang it,
Rob. And your how many squares you have or hexes you have to move in order to turn is 2.
Boo.
To change your facing. And your speed is halved.
Oh, gross.
However,
so real quick on this ring, what is our speed bonus?
+4.
Okay.
However,
speed of 8.
You're connected to them, so after doing some quick math, you realize those effects apply to them as well.
Oh, nice.
So that damage was that 12 to shields, 11 to hull?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I got it figured right then.
And I think that is it for the Formians. You guys are about, hopefully, I mean, as the race continues to accelerate, there's more and more obstacles. There's more and more crossfire. People's shields are being ripped apart through all of these energy beams and spore weapons and crazy torpedoes that are being launched. Asteroids you guys are hitting. There's still a few rings left to go as you guys continue your approach, but does seem like the pace is picking up, and that several of you, if you can't keep up, you will be destroyed. And speaking of which, before we wrap up this round, there are mines. So those mines are going to follow you, and one's going to go after you, and one's going to go after, whoops, that's the whole asteroid. Yikes. We'll move that out of the way. The Myrmecia. Oh, targeting lock? You guys are both hit. Yeah, there's just no way around that one. 6.
Did we have some sort of reaction to that?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, the targeting lock thing.
Hey.
So
Gunner,
how do I do
do
this
your
again?
thing.
Sorry. New actions. So I make a gunnery check equal to 10 plus the attacking weapon speed. And point plus 10. All right. Well, I'm going to just roll a gunnery check with my normal mod.
Okay, so replace your normal mod with +10.
Okay.
That's what point +10 means, is don't use your normal mod, use this roll instead.
Great. Thank you.
Yep.
26.
Boom. Blown out of the sky, one of those mines does not hit you instead of totally hitting you.
Woo!
Yay.
That is the advantage of the laser nets that you guys installed before that are point weapons, which are kind of protective. Like, they don't deal as much damage, but as you just saw, they stop you from taking about 25 damage in the aft shields.
Yeah, nobody likes taking 20 damage in the aft.
Right?
However, that is roughly about the amount of damage that the Myrmecia took in the aft. And unfortunately for them, they emphasized speed, so they did not redistribute their shields to their aft, which is rough for them because they're
currently exploding.
Oh, they're still round, but they're in rough shape. Why doesn't somebody roll percentile dice for me?
Someone who's not me should do it because I've already.
All right, I'll do it. I haven't rolled a percentile dice yet.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, go for it, Bob.
Way to go, Brian.
Brian.
Oh.
This is like the opposite of 100.
Hey, Brian rolls a 1.
100.
And finally it works for us.
So the thorax of their ship seems to contain their power core, and a couple of hits have struck it in rapid succession. So it now seems like their power systems, which you can kind of see. I mean, if you want to know what's actually happening to them, you'll have to scan them, but you can kind of see just from a distance the coruscating colors of pink and green and blue illuminating the Myrmecia, the giant space beetle ahead of you, and it's bloated and leaking a bunch of fluid that doesn't seem designed to leak. It looks like their power core is more than glitching. Their power core is malfunctioning.
Sweet.
And I think that as you guys are circling this race, moving ever closer to your goal of redemption and rejoining Drifters proper, I think this is a fine time to call it quits.
Oh, man. It is time to call it quits for this week. Thank you, Kevin, for presenting such nerve-wracking excitement for the players, and hopefully the same for our listeners. Listeners, if you haven't jumped on board, get over to patreon.com/major spoilers. Check out all the pictures for this game and a whole lot more. Patreon.com/major spoilers. We'll be back next time. And until then, here's hoping all of your dice rolls are critical hit.
This podcast is copyright 2021 by Major Spoilers Entertainment, LLC.
It's true that some things change as we get older. But if you're a woman over 40 and you're dealing with insomnia, brain fog, moodiness, and weight gain, you don't have to accept it as just another part of aging. And with MIDI Health, you can get help and stop pushing through it alone. The experts at MIDI understand that all these symptoms can be connected to the hormonal changes that happen around menopause. And MIDI can help you feel more like yourself again. Many healthcare providers aren't trained to treat or even recognize menopause symptoms. MIDI clinicians are menopause experts. They're dedicated to providing safe, effective, FDA-approved solutions for dozens of hormonal symptoms, not just hot flashes. Most importantly, they're covered by insurance. 91% of MIDI patients get relief from symptoms within just 2 months. You deserve to feel great. Book your virtual visit today at joinmidi.com. That's joinmidi.com.